You may have watched my video about doing the brakes on the Ford Freestyle that I have for my wife, or the family car, I guess you could say. Now it's time to do the rotors on my 05 Infiniti G35 Infiniti. Tired. So these videos probably will go up on different days, but it actually is the same day. I'm just taking advantage of the fact that I have time. My father-in-law is in town visiting, so he's watching the kids and helping us out. So for this week, so I have some time to be out here and not have kids crawling all over me, which is always nice when you're trying to get work done. So on the Infiniti, all I'm doing is I'm replacing the rotors. I'm probably still going to sand the brake pads, but I'm getting a vibration at over 60, over 55-ish miles an hour, so freeway speeds. Under that, I'm not getting any vibration when I brake. But over that, it's definitely, and if you're going 65, 70-ish, it can get kind of scary. And I don't want to break in anything else. I do need to still replace a couple control arms, but the brakes come first because they're definitely an issue. And I thought about getting them turned, but as with the other car, I don't know what the thickness necessarily is on them. I looked at them and they looked okay, but I also looked at the Freestyle, and if you watch my other video, you'll see on there that the passenger side, inner side of the rotor was just eaten away. And while the outside looked great, the inside was just trashed. And so I'm just going to go ahead and replace them. Not going to have to worry about them. Stay focused. And just get that taken care of. So go ahead. I probably won't take as many updates on this one because I'm not doing as much work. Just replacing the rotors and putting new rotors on it, bleeding the brakes, and calling it good. So I'm out of brake fluid, but my wife's going to be taking off here pretty soon and getting me some more, and then be able to bleed. I need to finish bleeding the brakes on the Freestyle, and I'll be bleeding the brakes on this. So thanks for watching, and keep watching for a few more updates. Alright, so I got one side off, and it's definitely wearing more. This is the driver's side, wearing more on the inside edge than the outside edge. I grab a brand new one. I should have done this before I started recording. Again, apologize for my messy garage. But no, I guess the inside edge is about the same thick, or is thinner than the outside edge. So I don't know why well, one thing I did notice, I'm going to go ahead and replace the rotors since I got them. They don't look warped at all. Of course, it doesn't take much for it to cause vibration, but that bushing couldn't be more shot, so I'm definitely going to be replacing that in the next week or two, as it is gone. And so let me check the other one on the other side. Sorry, just trying to get the camera in there. Yeah, it's going pretty. It's gone pretty much too. Not as bad as the other side, I don't think. But I hate to have it all apart like this, just to have to take it apart again next weekend. But that's probably what I'm going to have to do. Pretty typical for me. So this rotor looks, I think these are brand new, honestly. The pads are brand new, the rotors look brand new. So I have a feeling that what I'm doing is for naught. But again, I've bought it. I went off the suggestion of the shop. I headed in for an oil change, had them look at it. They told me it was the rotors. They told me it was what it was going to charge me to turn them. It's about $200 to turn them there at the shop. I could, like I said, I could have taken them off and had them turned somewhere, but figured for the cost, since the shipping was basically free, what I'm paying to replace them is basically what I would have paid to get them turned. So oh well, we'll see if this fixes it. I bet it's those I think they're called compression arms, bushings that are bad, that are causing my vibration. So I'll get this buckled up. It's getting pretty late, so I'll probably buckle it up tomorrow when I'm all said and done. Alright, sorry that it's so dark. It's 10 o'clock now. It just dropped below 100 degrees. But I just got back from my test drive. And yeah, it definitely was the brake rotors being warped. So now braking from freeway speeds doesn't feel like I'm in a death trap. So I'm glad that the service writer, Bill Luke Suzuki is the one I talked to. They do not sponsor this video or anything, but you know, they have a really good price. They do oil changes for $17, and they wash your car. So for $17 and a car wash, I take it there. It's worth my time to, usually on a Saturday, drop it off while we're out running errands and pick it up when they're done with it and call it good and get a car wash and an oil change. But anyways, so this car is good. This car is done. My test drive was a little bit longer than normal because I ran over to Walmart to get more brake fluid for this guy, because the brake fluid in the Infiniti isn't bad. It's a little dark, but it's you know, it's not brand new. Other than that, it looks fine. The brake fluid in this car is just, it's like sludge. It smells bad. It's black. It's kind of shimmery, so I don't know what's going on with that. I'm thinking that might be because of the calipers. And so I bought a couple bottles of brake fluid. I'm going to bleed from the back to the front. You know, bleed the furthest one away, and then the next closest, and then the next closest, and then this one. And I don't think there's necessarily a lot of air in the system. This pedal's still a little soft though. But I'm going to bleed it and glide out all that nasty, nasty brake fluid. It just reeks. So that should be that with this car. I mean, for what we paid for it, got it for about $25, almost $3,000 less than what they go for typically around here. And yeah, to just have to place the brake rotors, needs shocks, maybe some service on the CVT eventually. But still, I mean, any used car that you buy is going to need work done. So the important thing is to get the car as inexpensive as possible so that you have leftover funds to repair it. Because in my experience, and I have bought and sold a lot of cars. Most I have not made money on. Some I've made some money on, and a few I've made a lot of money on selling them. I'm not very good at it. I just was very lucky in what I bought and what I paid for it, and I was able to sell it for. But every single car I've bought, the person has sold it because they have just been sick of the repairs. And for the most part, I'm able to do the repairs myself. Like the Freestyle needs a new valve cover gasket on at least the front valve cover. I'm not sure about the back one, but I know the front one's leaking a little oil. And so I need to get that taken care of. And that's something I can do myself. Valve cover gasket, the kit or the set is like, I want to say it's like $30-40 is all. But if you take that into a shop, you know, they'll charge you a couple hours of labor. They'll charge you more for the part that you can get it yourself for the exact same part. And you know, just being able to do it yourself with a ratchet and a couple of sockets and call it good. And you know, yeah, it probably would take me longer than most mechanics, but you know, I've never left a car at a mechanic and gotten it back the same day. Usually it's the next day. So if it takes me, you know, a full day to do one repair, and it can. I've been in a couple motorcycle accidents, and my shoulder's a little messed up, so it takes me a little bit longer to do repairs than most people say it should. Just because of my shoulder. You know, I have to be careful that I don't re-injure it, because then I'm miserable for a couple of weeks after. You know, but if you take the time to learn how to fix your cars and take the time to be able to fix your car, in a lot of ways you're ahead. The only time that, I mean, even for me, there are repairs that are above my skill level. Some of them are above my tool level. I just don't have the money to invest in the appropriate tool to do the work. And some of them I know the car is going to be out of commission for simply just too long, like the CVT on this Ford Freestyle. I've done the research on the repairs, and they actually don't look that bad, but the amount of time that I would have to dedicate to it is very minimal. So I either have to use a few days of vacation time to do the work and buy some tools I don't currently own to do the work, or I take it into the shop to do the work. And it might be there for a week and a half waiting for them to get the work done, but in that time frame I'm actually earning money going to a job that I would have otherwise not earned money, or I would have used up vacation time that I would have liked to have used for something else. Something like these brake jobs, because I've done both in one day. I've done brake jobs on this and this. I will still have to bleed the brakes on this. Brakes work, they're just a little mushy, and I just don't like the color of the brake fluid. So that's not something I'm going to have to take off work. It's definitely drivable tonight. In fact, the brakes are still better than they were before I started. They were mushy when I started. I was just hoping that fixing the caliper would fix that. But now they don't have the creak, but they're still a little mushy, so blew the brakes. Anyways, so that was an afternoon. I started probably around 5:30, finished up around 9:30, so it was 4 hours, but I did, I replaced the brakes and rebuilt the calipers on this one. This car didn't really take me that much time. Plus, I have a wife and kids, and my father-in-law is town, so I took breaks to, eat dinner and spend a few minutes with family before they, with the kids before they went off to bed. So it wasn't a full 4 hours. But I'm done, and I spent on everything. I spent about $150. I buy most of my parts online, but I make sure to buy name brand quality parts. I just shop around until I find the best price. I don't always buy from the same place, because not everybody has the same prices all the time, so it's important to shop around. And I know I'm rambling a bit, I apologize, but I was just thinking about it. It's something I'm very grateful that I have the skill set to do in it, and it's funny to me that other people don't pick up the skill set, because it's very, I'm in computers, and I work on cars. And my battery's dying, so I have to end this soon. I'm in cars, I'm in computers, and for the most part, they're like big puzzle pieces. The electronics are what gets you on cars. You have to have the right diagnostic tools for some of the stuff, but if you do have the right diagnostic tools, even then a lot of electronic stuff isn't difficult. You just have to know what pieces go where, and in some respects you can throw parts at it, especially if you're doing the repairs yourself. You can throw, for what you would pay for a repair at the dealership, you can throw a lot of parts at a problem and fix it yourself. And through trial and error you can definitely learn to do more. But go ahead and sign off this video. Hopefully you've enjoyed the 2 videos I've done. They weren't my Jeep. I know they're going on my off-road channel, but I had to get these done and spent the money on these cars and not on the Jeep, because these are what we drive every day. Again, I've done a lot of work in securing some new sponsorships. Please go to the link in the description. Go to my website. I've listed them for you. You can bookmark my website, so if you ever think of shopping on any of those sites, there's Amazon, eBay, 4-wheel drive hardware, there's Abs of Maine, there's even KitchenAid and OtterBox. So I was able to secure those, and if you're thinking of buying any of those products, please use my link. It supports these channels, because I have a couple of channels, and gets this work done. So hopefully these videos I've made will help somebody down the line, because the videos I saw specifically on the Freestyle, the people said to put silicone on the on the calipers, which is something you should not do. You should not put anything but brake fluid. And it didn't take me very long. It was actually a fairly easy video, or excuse me, a fairly easy fix to do. And it really didn't take me much longer. I mean, by the time you get the brake apart to put the silicone on there, you've almost just done all the work to rebuild the cylinder, you know, and put in a new ring and everything. And that's way better, way more secure, will last a lot longer. I mean, it's your brakes. The two most important things on your car are your tires and your brakes, because who cares if your engine doesn't run? What matters are what stops you and what keeps you out of a crash, and that's your tires and brakes and your suspension. But typically, most of the time, unless a metal fatigue or you crack something, your suspension isn't going to cause you necessarily to have a crash. But a bad tire or bad brakes will cause you to have a crash, and that's something you definitely want to maintain and keep on top of and do properly. Like the tires on this Freestyle, they're the tires that are on it, but I don't like them. I'm probably the ones. They're another thing. You should always change all 4 tires at the same time. Don't have 2 different sets of tires. And the Freestyle actually has 2 different tires on the back. They were on the front, but they're now on the back because I rotated them. And 2 similar tires on the front. And they are the cheapest tires you can buy. And I don't like that. This car carries my family. Why would I put the lowest bidding tire on my car? That just doesn't make sense. It's really not that big of much more money to invest in slightly better tires. And if you shop around, Cooper tires at Discount Tire are the same as the Cooper tires at Fletcher's or at Tire Rack or Discount Tire Online, or one of 100 other vendors. They're the same tire. They are made by the same manufacturer, the same factory. Why not get the best tire you can, or at least reasonably best tire? Obviously, you're not going to go out and spend $1,000 per tire because you're not gaining any benefit. But spending extra $20, $30, $50 a tire to get something that'll last longer, be more secure, be more resilient to punctures, be better in rain and snow, and that's nice, YJ. Anyways, be better in snow, be better in just all the conditions that you run across. Now, I'm in Arizona, so snow is very rare, but it does rain here. When it rains, it floods, and the roads because there's so much time between when it rains, the roads get very slick when it rains. So why not have better tires? It just makes sense to me. Plus, if you average out how much you pay for the tires and how long they last, I mean, it's a no-brainer. Anyways, so sorry for rambling. Please click on the links in the description below. Hopefully the advice that I give, the videos I make, help somebody down the road. That's why I do this. And if you have any suggestions, anything you'd like to see, please comment and let me know, and I'm more than happy to do the work. If you like seeing videos other than the Jeep videos on this channel, let me know. If you hate it, let me know, and I might do a different channel for that. I'm not sure. I just figured it's a car channel. So again, thank you for watching, and have a great night.